Okay, thank you. Thanks for coming. I'm going to say a few quick thank yous on behalf of all of us, and then I'll hand it over to these guys, and you guys can ask questions and whatnot. There's a lot of people to thank, and we're not going to be able to name everybody, so I apologize in advance for omitting people. But if I say your name, maybe you want to stand up, and we can give you a round of applause. First of all, thank you to all of you for coming. Appreciate everybody being here. I want to acknowledge a few people real quickly. Doug's parents, Norma and Herb. Thank them for having Doug. Herb's here. Herb here is coming 9:15. Security. Herb, you're supposed to be in. We'll talk about that yet. Herb is also responsible for the name Hot Doug, so give him a hand for that. Thank you for coming. Thank you for having Doug and Andy, I guess. I'll tell you what that. We want to thank George and Marcos for having Chris. Brian Simpson, where are you at? Brian Simpson is the editor of the movie. Brian put in hundreds, if not thousands of hours into this thing. He was critical in shaping the story, and he did a wonderful job and volunteered all his time and his talent and his energy. Please, Brian Simpson. Thank you. Sebastian Mama, are you here? Come on, Sebastian. Sebastian did a wonderful job. A lot of his footage up there, his cinematography and his talent and the time he put in, hanging out with us inside the restaurant. No easy thing. So thank you. He did. He probably did it just for it. He could have gotten a tattoo. It would have been much easier and probably less painful. Tyler and Lauren are here. I think you did such a good job of putting so much care into the picture. Look great. Thank you. Stephen did the sound mixing. Stephen, where are you at? Thank you. And there's a lot of other people who contributed in a lot of ways. LP, Miss Lady Boots, Becky, Scott, Jen, Melissa, Porta, Paul, Josh and Christine, DS, David. Round of applause for all those people too. Okay, I'm going to introduce these guys and hand it over to them. This is Doug, and Doug is very generous with his time and energy in helping us put this thing together. And as good of a restaurant person and celebrity as he is, he's an even better friend. Thank you. And the best director, best brother, best guy I know, my brother Chris, who directed the movie. Raise your hand and shout out questions, or stand up so they can see you, and I'll take questions, and we'll do the thing. Yeah?
Oh wait, hold on, we have a hand up? Yes, please.
Hi, I'm Brian's roommate actually, so one more round of applause. And I actually was in Germany met Paul with Brian and did a story about Hot Dogs for a client. And Doug was very, very kind. I think he cut down like a $60 order to like 10. That's just awesome. I wanted to ask, what's next?
Well, I'd like to get my $50 back. Oh gosh. What's next? The Cubs are out of town, so I've got the weekend free. I honestly don't know yet. I know it won't be another restaurant, so that may eliminate a question or two. I don't know, opportunities, things keep popping up, and we'll see what happens. I have no idea. I didn't think I'd open a restaurant, so as Herb Sohn might say, you never know.
I'd like to just take a moment to thank Doug for letting us into the restaurant in the final days when it was complete chaos and giving us the privilege of filming. And along those lines, there's some people here who work at the restaurant who are a critical part of that family, of that institution. And forgive me if I miss anyone, but I see Benjamin over there. Stand up if you here tonight, but we'll give him a round of applause. And, those other luminaries, the man with the beard, Dan Sinker. Never cut that. Never cut that. Alex August. Alex August. I forgive the Wolfies t-shirt I'm not going to Columbus meets. So yeah, if there are any other questions, we're welcome to field those. No? Okay, we answered them all, didn't we? Yes. So yeah, what we're really trying to do is just make a slice of life, really capture that moment in time and preserve it. So hopefully we've done that. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hello to April right here. After this, I think Doug's going to segue to the bar and start his program, as we like to call it.
And I'm just hoping Barbara will stop crying at some point too.
Restaurant, hang out, chat with Doug, chat with us. Question?
Yep.
My family in Texas wants to know how I can see the snow.
The 9:15 show? We don't have an answer to that question right now, but we're working on it. And we do have a mailing list. If anyone wants to, you can go to hotdogsthemovie.com, go into the contact, sign up for our mailing list, and we'll let you know how the movie progresses. But it's taken us a while to get this far. We very much appreciate you all coming out tonight. Enjoy the movie. Yes, Mr. Simpson.
Yes, Doug, you never seen this before, right?
That's correct. This was the first time.
Wow.
It's so when Chris came to me, we're sitting in my living room, and he proposed the idea of making this movie, and I thought, okay, I trust Chris, and then he said, and you will have no say whatsoever. And I was like, I think I trust Chris, and it's thank you so much. That was, I mean, part of it, one of the reasons, I mean, it's nice to like remember things as we get old and adult and memories dissipate. But it was, I had a lot of trepidation and a little bit of anxiety, nervousness to see it. Not that I thought, from a quality standpoint, it would be bad or anything. It's just, it's a very, very strange feeling seeing your head being 10 feet tall. And it's just, it's stunning. And thank you, my friend. Another question? Last question? Anybody? We got it.
How did you guys meet?
How did we meet? It was a drunken weekend in Reno. If I can get this right, my brother managed a band that Chris's brother, Nick, that was right here, later joined. And so I got to know Nick that way, and then the entire Marcos family.
Yes.
Yeah? I think that's right. Nick, that's right?
That's right.
Yeah, that's good enough. Oh, yeah, well, yes. Yes.
Tell us, how did you create some of your amazing recipes? Like, what was your recipe process, development process?
Boy, I think like stole stuff from other restaurants was always a good one. Or just kind of flavors and things, and just being inspired by traveling, inspired by reading cookbooks, food magazines, my experience working in restaurants, my experience going to cooking school, and then trial and error. I mean, just like playing around with stuff in the kitchen, and you know, there's some of it was intuitive, what flavors match up, but just kind of seeing things and kind of being forced. One of the cool things about having so many people, regulars who kept coming back all the time, it forced me to be more creative and to keep trying new things and to keep trying to do new things on the menu. I think I would assume like any other chef, I know there are a few here tonight would probably, I assume, say the same thing. Or completely different. That's not how it works at all. Yep. Yes.
I'm curious about your pre-printed pad. Since you were constantly changing out the what was that?
It is from a good question. About the pre-printed pad. It had all the regular, the 12, I think, regular menu items always stayed the same, and then there was a, just lines for, like, where the specials were, and I would write out each one, as I recall. It was a while ago.
So you would actually write it in.
Yeah, and one of the remarkable things that I always thought is that the staff could actually read my handwriting, especially around 2:30, 3 o'clock when like fatigue and the coffee had worn off, and it was stuff. I was like, no, they still got it right. But yeah, most of the good amount of it was handwritten. I used to, when we first opened the restaurant, it was on index cards cut in half, and I would just write out everything. When we had 12 customers a day, that was a lot easier. It's way in the back.
Follow her question. Was that real math when you totaled the bill?
Are you with the IRS? Actually, yes, and I am now, I will say one of my top skills is being able to add things as long as they're all divisible by 50 cents. It's close enough. Oh, yeah.
What happened to all the stuff in the restaurant?
The stuff, some of it's actually in like some boxes in my house, but most of it, it's a very odd story. There's a guy who collects cars and Chicago history stuff and just buys things as far as I can tell. And someone who worked for him and sort of now the curator of his collection, I actually went to grade school with, and he called me and said, you know, you have the stuff, we'd like to display it. I was like, great, gets it out of my crib, you can have it. There is an actual 2-scale replica of the Hot Dogs building that you can actually walk into in a car collection facility on Belmont and Knox. But it's actually not open to the public. It's very I've seen it, and it is an unbelievable collection of cars and stuff. It's very strange. And it actually stood in there, and it was a very, very odd feeling.
That's where we're filming the sequel.
A little. Anyone else? Are we good? Oh, that's right, yeah.
In these last 3 years, your personal time, have you cooked sausages much more, or you just like off of it?
Oh, no, I had a hot dog today at the Cubs game. Yes, I do. Yeah, absolutely. I want to know, it's one of the, I don't miss a lot about owning the restaurant, but the food is one of those things. Oh, yeah. Oh, I still cook them in the exactly. Although every so often it's like I can go a hot dog and I turn around and Carlos isn't there, so I guess I have to make it myself.
Are there any recipes that you came up with that you were like, oh, I should have thought of that? Well, the place is still open.
There were a couple things that we never got around to doing, but not much. Very, very little. A couple little ideas that just time and sort of really more the logistics of doing a few things that I was like, oh, that would have been cool to do, but just,
If you have ideas, talk to George or Mike.
yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah, someone else. Exactly. Got time for one more? Oh, we have one back there.
What's your favorite meal in Chicago?
Anything that someone's serving to me that I don't have to. You know, one of, and I referenced that in the movie, that it's one of the great things about Chicago is there's just great food, and there isn't one place. Sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Wait. I meant it's honey butter fried chicken and and anybody else who owns a restaurant there in the place as well. Okay, sure. Yes.
Have you ever woken up in a cold sweat worried that you're late to work?
It's still dominated by like the not being prepared for the test dream much more than the work. But yeah, that's less so now. But yeah, oh, absolutely. Where I woken up, it's like, oh, I didn't put the menu together because I don't own a restaurant. Thank goodness. So yeah, that's happening. I think we're good. Yeah. Great. Actually, oh, I'm sorry. Yes.
How did you get into cooking?
How did I get into cooking? I got into eating mostly, and really growing up I lived in Deerfield, Illinois, in the '60s, which just sounds funny. And then we moved downtown. Chicago, back when I was growing up, was not. I mean, it was the Blackhawks spinning salad bowl was the height of culinary achievement. And so then I went to college in New York and was exposed to things like Indian food and sushi and just really got into eating and then combined that with absolute truth, watching cooking shows. Like, because at that time there were three, on PBS. It was like Jacques Pepin, and it was the Frugal Gourmet and Yank and Cook.